Episode 1 of All of Us Are Dead begins with a kid called Jinsu bullied at school. With rain pouring down and under the neon sign of a cross, Jinsu hits back and snaps. He launches himself at the other kids and tumbles down to his death, or at least it should be his death. He is still alive and taken into hospital with serious injuries. He is not himself though, and his father Byung-chun shows up and notices him growling and snarling. Holding a Bible, he apologizes before beating his son down. It's not enough though, and he's still alive. We then skip across to Hyosun High School, specifically the science lab, where a crazed rat inside a cage bites a girl called Hyunju. As she holds her bleeding finger, Byung-chun shows up. It appears this is his lab, and when he notices Hyunju's cut, he shuts the door and holds her captive. After his son went missing, rumors have begun spreading about Byung-chun. Kids whisper that he smells like a rotting corpse, and since Jinsu's disappearance, he's slowly been growing more crazed. Well, if that includes tying up that beaten student and keeping her captive inside his lab, then yes, he's definitely crazy. It's here we settle down a little and start to get to know some of these students. Onju is a bright, optimistic kid, but her father has absolutely no hopes for her to excel at school. There is no pressure, and he admits that everyone is equal, especially as he works as a paramedic and sees life-threatening injuries every day. One of her best friends is Jungsun, and he clearly likes her. He doesn't show it though, instead treating her mean. However, that's nothing compared to the mean bully in school, Guinam. He is the guy we saw beating up Jinsu at the start of the episode. He turns his attention to a couple of other kids, including Yunji, whom he forces to strip off, and Cheonsu, who he forces to film. Sohyok shows and tries to put a stop to this, but the kids are scared and succumb to the bully's wishes. Unfortunately, things only get worse for Yoonji, who finds herself at Myung-hwa's will. Hyunju comes stumbling out from the lab she has been kept in and is clearly infected. With bloodshot eyes and snarls, the teacher rings the hospital. The other kids mention that Hyunju smells like a rotten corpse too. The paramedics arrive to take Hyunju away, led by Onju's father. Onju says goodbye to her dad, potentially for the last time. Hyunju is not herself and she is taken to the heart of the city. Unfortunately, when Byungchun realizes that Hyunju has gone, he is shocked and urges them to put her in quarantine. Because of his abduction, though, he is approached by several police officers and arrested. While this is going on, we learn that school nurse was actually beaten by Hyunju. It doesn't take long for her to turn, with black veins protruding from the bite on her arm. As she lies on the floor convulsing, Guinam sees her and begins filming. His friend is immediately beaten and turns too. Then we see Yunji up on the roof. She wants to escape her living hell, but just before she jumps, several infected students tumble out the window before her, shattering glass and snarling viciously. The infected continue to grow in numbers, and that poses a particularly big problem for the students inside the canteen. Among them are Isak, Jungsun, Sohyok, and Onju. Onju is shocked, and as an infected arrives and pins her down, things have gone from bad to worse.